And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the next President of the United States. Let's give a warm Show Me State welcome to Senator Marco Rubio.
Thank you. Who was that? My boy. Thank you very much. Yeah. Love you, Marco. Thank you. You're not as cute as that. Hey, I'm really honored. Thank you very much for welcoming me here. I'm really excited to be with you. And I'm looking forward to coming back in March 3 times to see the different states that are obviously lined up here. Is that the Chinese hackers doing that? I'm really honored to be with you. It's great to be back. Some of you may not know this. It's in my book. You got to buy it and read it. I went to school in Missouri for a year. A small college called Tarkio College. It's no longer open. That wasn't my fault. It's no longer open. But I really want to thank you guys, and I really appreciate that you coming here today and being a part of this event and hearing me out for a few moments. I thought I'd share with you quickly and briefly, but poignantly, I hope, why it is that I'm running for president and why this election is so important. Because every election matters, right? And every 2 years, every 4 years, they come and say this is the most important election in a lifetime. I would argue what I said from the beginning of this campaign is this is the most important election in this generation. It's a generational choice. And what's at stake in this election is not simply what party is going to be in charge or which candidate is going to win. What's at stake in this election is what kind of country are we going to be in the 21st century. For 200 years, it's been a special country. Unique, unlike any other nation in the history of the world. But now we have to decide, are we willing to do what it takes to keep it that way? Or are we going to allow it to be a nation in decline? So the bad news is this. The bad news is that if we keep doing what we are doing now, we are going to be the... Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Because this is having a lot of problems. I don't want to blow someone's ears out there. We have to, for 200 years, this has been a special country. It's been a unique place, and one of the things that's made us unique is that this is a country where it doesn't matter where you start out in life. We believe you have a God-given right to go as far as your talent and your work will take you. But now we read last week in a poll that for the first time in a long time, a majority of young Americans, and millennials, believe the American dream is dead. And a growing number of Americans feel increasingly unsafe here in our own country. And so the road we are on right now, if we keep doing the things that our government is doing now, we are going to be the first Americans that leave our children worse off than ourselves. And I wish I could tell you only one party shared the blame. I think one party has most of the blame. And one president in particular has a lot of the blame. Too often we've had Republican leaders responsible as well, who failed to address the issues in a timely way or with a sense of urgency, who were content with just letting things move on, always arguing, we'll take care of it after the next election and after the next election, and it never happens. And the result of the challenges we face today, and they are real. We face extraordinary challenges to our security, and we face real challenges to our prosperity. That is the hard truth. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay this way. Right. We don't have to stay on the road we're on right now. There is a new direction available for us, but we have to do it now. And that's why I chose to run for president. When I announced I wanted to run, and I had a lot of people come to me in the Republican establishment and say, well, you should wait, it's not your turn. You need to wait in line. And I said, wait for what? Wait for more of the same? Wait for the next person in line, the most familiar name? That isn't going to work this time. The time to act is now. There's too much at stake. Because we have a chance not to leave our children worse off than themselves. We have a chance to leave the next generation of Americans as the freest and the most prosperous Americans that have ever lived. And we have a chance to make this country stronger and safer than it's ever been. That is the opportunity before us in this election. But we must take it, and we must act now. And what will it take to do that? Well, at home, it'll take two things. Number one, a government that understands that prosperity is not created by the government. Prosperity is created by the private sector. Yes.